So, you want to know how to get rid of negative emotions, or at least get through it. Well, here's how. Instead of dwelling in these negative emotions, you want to relabel what they mean to you. For example, if you start feeling really depressed randomly, and yeah, it happens to people, relabel what that depression signals to your body. Right now, that depression probably means go sit on your bed and do nothing, or take out your phone and start scrolling so you can make it worse. Change that. Instead, make it mean when I start feeling depressed, I start doing push ups. When I start feeling depressed, I start drawing. I start playing music. I start studying. I start reading. I go and spend time with family. I call one of my close friends. I do something that makes me happier. The trick with these negative emotions is putting plans in place beforehand so that when it actually happens, you know how to deal with it. Because a lot of us just experience these negative emotions and don't really know how to deal with it because we didn't prepare beforehand. We just expect, pray, and hope that when it happens, we figure it out. And sure, sometimes we do, but oftentimes we don't. And what I want to help you do is take that 40% of the time you get it right to 100% of the time. If you're watching this video, you probably know what negative emotions you're feeling. It takes some level of self-awareness, so at least be proud of yourself for having that at the start at least. Now, if you watch my videos, you know I'm going to say this. Take out a piece of paper and on the start, title it the negative emotion. Depression, anxiety, anger, fear. It can be anything. Then below that, write what your current trigger is. When do you usually end up feeling it? You might think that it happens randomly, but trust me, it happens sometimes. It happens when you take your phone out to check your mail and then you start feeling the urge to check your messages. Something along those lines. Or you see someone that you don't really like and that starts triggering these emotions. Below that, then write what your current habit is. What do you usually do when you start feeling these emotions? Be honest with yourself because no one else is going to read it. Genuinely, what do you do? Do you just sit there and do nothing? Do you let yourself wallow in these emotions? Do you start overthinking and start making it worse and start overinterpreting every small detail? Do you start becoming really irritable? Whatever it is, write it down. Even if it doesn't make much sense, just realize you're the only person who's going to read this. Now below that, I want you to write your new habit. What are you going to change the meaning of this negative emotion to? Make it something positive. Make it something that makes you happy. For example, I love working out. So if I start feeling really depressed, I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start doing push-ups. I'm going to start my weightlifting session early. Whatever it is, I'm going to go on a run, on a walk. But for each person, it's individual, as with everything. For you, it could be that you start playing music. It could mean that you start drawing, that you start reading. Whatever it is, just make sure it's something that makes you happy. Even if it's simple as, go and say hi to your mom. Now, what I want you to know is that these emotions and feelings are not permanent. The same way that you won't feel happy permanently, you're not going to feel upset permanently. Regardless of how it feels. I know that when you feel it, it feels like it's going to be forever. And that it's never going to change. You're stuck in the same position all the time. But really, it does change. If your mood swings can be bad, they can also be good. So, my main point is, if you can distract yourself for the 20-30 minutes that you do feel these negative emotions, eventually, they're just going to disappear from your head as if a cloud were leaving the sky. Because at the end of the day, your emotions are just clouds. It's your job to wait until they pass so you can get a bright beam of sunlight right down on you. Now I want you to know that you're not alone. It's something everyone goes through. You're not special. So you can get through it just as everyone else has gone through it before you, who's going through it right now, and who's going to get through it in the future. You will get past it. Now, remember that thing I told you on a piece of paper? Go write that in the comments. It'll make sure that you end up doing it. And it'll help someone else. Now, thanks for watching, and go watch another one of my videos.